So we were going to see types of acquisitions and then cross border. Okay, and accordingly, the later part of the session. So before moving to that, I wanted to give an example of cash mergers. I think Gauri asked for cash mergers example. So this cash mergers, now the very good example of cash mergers, as we will go ahead also, you will understand when I'll give you the trends of mergers and acquisitions. Actually, Tata when acquired Air India, right? So at that given point of time, Tata also acquired all the debts that the this was having, what we might say, the Air India was having, out of which certain of was to be paid to the government. So some of the acquisition was made by the cash, and other was made by the stock, by the purchasing their shares of the company. So some of the what we might say Air India ka, some of the part, actually we might say, was purchased by Tata through the cash, through cash mergers, actually the way of cash actually, where he paid, where, or we might say where he actually purchased all the outstanding value of the company as well, where he purchased all the outstanding value of the company. He also paid the amount to the government also, and rest of the assets or liability or whatever the shares were, he buyed through the stock purchase. He buyed through stock purchase. So he combined two of the types, and then he acquired, so sorry, then the company acquired the, what we might say, the Air India. So that, so we will go when we will see the trend, that time we will see. So this was the very good good boldness acha, that was a perfect example for cash mergers actually. Yes, shall we go ahead with the asset purchases now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, yes. So let's start with asset purchases. So when we say asset purchases means, let's say when a company is acquiring the another company, so that company only assets are purchased by the company who's acquiring the company. Okay, so let's say if there is a company, okay, if there is an A company who wants to acquire B company's only asset, B company's only assets, then he will that particular A company will buy only the asset and fully convert them fully into their own assets. So like if we might say, if a company is buying any plant, any machinery of the another company, then what happens is that whole machinery will be acquired by the present company, or the company is acquiring the another company's assets. So that name, the license of using, the possession, the transfer, everything will be converted to the company A. Everything will be converted to company name, a company's name, that is in the name of company A. So when the particular A company is acquiring only the assets of that particular B company, then such purchases or such acquires are known as the asset purchases. That is only the assets. I think that the very good example for this was the Disney and Foxstar. So I think Disney acquired, yes, 21st centuries, I think, wait, I'll tell you. They bought Fox Searchlight Pictures. Then they bought Fox 2000 Pictures also. So Disney bought these assets, or they purchased these assets of Fox Stars. So this is the one of the examples we might say of of asset purchases, that majorly whenever the asset is being purchased, the whole transformation will be done, or the whole ownership will be converted to that particular company who is acquiring that particular assets. Then there is a stock purchase. There is a stock purchase. Stock purchase means complete share purchase. stock to stock, that is a complete share purchase by the by the company. you know Facebook, actually Facebook, I think purchased the shares in Oculus. Yes, they purchased the shares in Oculus. A complete. So majorly what happens now when they are buying stock or when they are buying the shares now, this involves the complete ownership. मतलब लाइसेंस है, अगर कोई पेटेंट है, या if they are having any distribution agreement or so on, completely or rather everything will be taken over by the company who is acquiring the stocks of another company. So complete ownership कह देते हैं, या फिर complete what we might say, acquiring completely of one some other company. अगर stock लेते तो when we ever say we purchase stock or when we ever say we purchase shares means of course we get a ownership into that acquiring company, right? So if even the company is having any patents, any licenses or any we might say agreements है, या फिर और कोई मतलब any other things that are to be transferred, everything will be transferred or acquired by that company, is known as a is known as stock purchase, is known as purchase. Then we have cross border mergers and acquisitions. Cross border mergers and acquisitions. So what are these cross border mergers and acquisitions? There can be merger or an acquisition of two companies. Okay, there can be a merger or acquisition of two companies, out of which one is located in some other company, one is located in some other country, that is a foreign company. For us we might say one is an Indian company that mergers with a foreign company, or vice versa we might say, or the foreign company wants to merge with Indian company, right? And out of which there will be formation of a one new whole company if it is a merger, or whosoever is acquiring the either company will bring in the business of that particular company, will bring in the business of that particular company. So when we talk about cross border merger or acquisition, that is companies which are located in two different locations, or completely two different locations or territory also we might say. Yes. So whenever such happens, yeah, somebody wanted to say something. Sorry. Okay. So let's say whenever these two companies from different location merge or acquired each other, then such acquisition or merger will be said as cross border merger or acquisition. Do we have any example for cross border merger or acquisition? Any example for cross border?
Tata and Ford.
Yes, टाटा जैगुआर.
Yeah,
टाटा जैगुआर भी हो सकता है.
yeah.
Yes, okay. So these were the basic types of mergers and acquisitions. Now let's go to the history. History in the sense, let's go back to how the mergers and acquisitions actually formed. Okay. So what happened? So this basically, actually, to be very frank, mergers and acquisitions came into India little late. So of course it was introduced in developed country very earlier period, okay, at a very earlier stage. But in India it was quite late to be included. Yes. So I think around the year of 1897 to 1904, 1897 to 1904. So we might say actually how the merger or acquisition concept came into the existence was this period. So what was the purpose behind making merger and acquisition as a lawful merger or acquisition of a particular company, or each a merger of a two companies? What was the reason behind doing this? Was in the year around 1987 to 1904, what happened? There were many mergers happening. Mergers mein ho kya raha tha? Basically there were competition in the market. So what was happening? One company who was a competitor to another one, what they wanted was to have a complete hold, उनके ऊपर dominance करो, so that my share or my company is the highest company in the market. No other competitors should exist in the market, and so many things were happening in that era. So what happened? So what they thought was कि it is better some company having hold or a dominance upon another and not paying the fair value to them for such dominance as well. So if you're creating any dominance or hold upon the another company, you should at least pay a fair value to them. And due to this anti competitions, or we might say due to this rivalries, or due to this high urge of being what we might say the best in the market, what was happening? The big companies who are big in the size in the market, they're not paying best to the companies. So such concept of merger and acquisition was made lawful with some rules and regulations, so that at least whenever any merger or acquisition was happening, it did not what we might say convert into any anti livery or anti competition thing. So, to be fair, whenever any company wants to hold or acquire or merge into another, what they said, let's introduce a legal concept, that is merger and acquisition, because of which at least the company which is acquired or being merged will get a fair value, right? Will get a fair value, at least proper valuation of that company should be made. They should get paid properly, as well as another scenarios like what will happen to a business, how it will turn, and all these things that we have already seen, how the success market will go, and so on. That's why the concept of mergers and acquisitions was introduced to actually eradicate, we might say, the competition, or we might say the rivalry scheme between the companies or the different organizations. Yes. And as I told you, in developed countries like UK and US, it was very much early in the years that the concept of merger and acquisition was introduced to them, because of which of course it helped also them into growth of their economy. And main reason, of course, when India came to know about this, the main reason behind introducing again mergers and acquisitions in India was economic reforms only. As we know, if there are any mergers and acquisitions that directly hit to what? Directly hit to the GDPs, economic of the nations. Yes. So this was the main, and if it is a cross-border merger or acquisitions, then we all know the economic strength of that particular company jumps to the next level, right? So in India, I think around 1931 there was a first merger happened. Okay, the first merger was happened, and that merger was between Tata Oil and Lever Brothers. Okay, Tata Oil and Lever Brothers, they all were limited companies. So we all know what is private limited, public limited, right? So when we say limited means, it is which company? When I use word
Public.
yes, perfect. We when I say limited, it should be always a public limited company. Okay, so then they formed a new company. That new company was known as Hindustan Unilever. Now we know that is which is HUL, and the one of the best or the highest selling of FMCG products is in India right now is HUL. We all know that. Yes, the very first merger that I think happened was in the year 1931. So that was the basic background that I might say of or history from where actually how mergers and acquisition got established. Yes, so this was the main part or main reason from where or how the mergers and acquisitions got. Just a moment. Oh, one of my slide got deleted. I had different trends written. Oh, 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 I'm so sorry. Actually, I had different trends I had from 2000 to 2024. I had given certain different trends, and I don't know how. Unfortunately, the slide has got deleted, wherein I had bought many different mergers that were happened till 24 actually. I don't know where it has gone. Extremely sorry for that. So different trends till now actually. I'm so sorry for that. Actually, this could have given you a wider, more scope of understanding mergers and acquisition or trends of mergers and acquisition. Let me check if I have with my. Okay, just a moment. I would get. Let me check by anyways. ठीक है, let me check if I get anything. I'll surely let you know. Actually, पूरा 2000 से मैंने अभी तक का पूरा I had taken the different mergers that had happened till now. I'm so sorry. Let's see if I get in the next session. I'll surely tell you. Okay, so let's talk about the different trends that are happening or how it evolved. We might say. Okay, so as in the terms of mergers and acquisitions, so whenever we talk about mergers and acquisition, India has been now, right now, after I might say 2010, being considered as in one of the leading nations for this type of concept, that is a mergers and acquisition, because most of our companies are favoring this particular what we might say, the concept of mergers and acquisitions. So, initially in the year of 1999, after the liberalization, the concept was very much hyped. The concept was very much hyped, but they saw a very big downfall in the year 2007, 2000, and 2008. So, 2000 to 2008, there was a big downfall. So, we might say a good recession period was there in India at that particular time. So क्या हो रहा था that time, there were no such and no company was coming forth for any such mergers or any such acquisitions. So that's why what happened, due to this, what happened, there were no such mergers happening, no acquisitions were happening, nothing. The growth or the GDP was falling very badly in that period around 2000 to 2008. But after 2010, we have never seen back. After 2010, we have never seen back. And trust me, in the year from 2021 till now, we are the highest into the Indian companies who are merging or who are acquiring each other and doing a lot or favoring the economic reform of the India. Actually, there are so many of them. And actually, what I was talking about cash reserves, na, sorry, cash reserves, hi aa gaya. Cash merger, na, the very good example I had given in the trends of 2023. And I don't know where the slide has gone. I'm unable to get that slide. I just, there were many of them. Till 24, I had done all of them. Okay, my bad. I don't know where it is. Okay, so from 2010, actually, there is a highest, we might say. So in 24, startups ले लो, Blinkit है, या फिर Zepto है, all of them are now trying to merge with Singapore company. There is one of the Singapore company who are trying to merge with them and make it a big company. So there are very, very, we might say, a high rise in mergers and acquisition in this year particularly. So after 2010, we might say there was a big boom in mergers and acquisitions in India, in our Indian companies rather. Yes. So why we might say there has been a boom? So special boom started after COVID, because we all know COVID was a very rough patch, or due to which many of the businesses were hammered a lot. So after 2019, so when this actually everything went off, the SEBI also has a very important role to play into this. While we say mergers and acquisitions, because mergers and acquisitions are legally included concept in our Companies Act 2013. Yes. So the SEBI as well as MCAs and company law has a very big, what we might say, input in increasing, or why the trend of merger and acquisition is been increasing after this. So the very first reform that was included after COVID was the new framework that was been established by the SEBI. Yes, so that main was differential voting rights. Hope you know this. Equity shares may they had given a two options. Again, Tata Sons was the one who came up with this first type of equity share. So we have to, in equity shares we have two types now. Okay, now after this trend, when the SEBI included the differential voting rights, okay, initially it was not included. So when we talk about types of share capitals under company law, there is equity share capital and we have preference share capital. Hope we all know about this. Yes. So we know different types of share capitals. Authorized है, paid up है, called है, unpaid है, सब कुछ है. But there was one of the important aspect introduced by SEBI, and Tatas were the one who first incorporated this in their company. So yes, we should truly thank Sir. And I actually forgot it, when we actually started with mergers, I actually had an 2 minute of tribute, 2 minute tribute to Sir Tata. I actually request we should also have 2 minutes tribute. We will pay a tribute to him actually. So he was actually a revolutionary person in all of this, and I was being fortunate enough to meet him, and major changes in Indian economy, we might say, or Indian companies was bought by him. He was really a visionary person. He has visioned many things. So I have my niece actually. He When he started his business, he was around 16 years old. He has received a Young Entrepreneur Award. So, of course, this is little offbeat from what we are going right now. But when I come to this name, Mr. Tata, I have lot to talk about him. So, he has received. So, my niece has received the Young Entrepreneur Award. So, he is Mr. Arjun Deshpande, and he has featured in many TED Talks, and he has visited many IIMs and many other. Hi, Savio, how are you? After many days, actually. Yes, so he has featured in many other programs also. So he started with his startup that is known as Generic Aadhaar. Okay, he started with his first startup, the young startup, we might say, a Generic Aadhaar. I don't know whether you know him, or have you ever heard about him? Arjun Deshpande he is. So when initially he started thinking about this, he approached Sir, and he was quickly funded. The very first funding that he received, the major funding that he received, was by Mr. Sir Tata. And he was such enthusiastic person that he actually, so of course he's such a big person, still he was there for the openings and in everything. And also even my niece, whenever he used to come with the new product, he used to go there, he used to meet him, he used to take certain business, what we might say, ideas, or certain how to establish a product, kya karu kya nahi karu. He was such a gem of a person that he used to guide him in everything. So yes, and with the help of him, now he is actually a very big name in the pharma company right now, Arjun Deshpande. And he is been, what we might say, uh, coping with interior most parts of the India as well right now. He's making, or he's trying to make it that the medicines are or should be reached to each and every person at a very low cost. And again, I was fortunate enough to make everything legal about legal work of that company was डन बाय मी. सो बेसिकली मैंने ट्रेडमार्क किया उनका, फिर ऑल द फ्रेंचाइजी अग्रीमेंट्स, एंड आई वाज आल्सो हैप्पी दैट my agreements, my everything was being witnessed and was being scrolled or went was being seen by sir as well. So I was very fortunate again. I so only once I've met him, but he's just an humble human being, seriously a nice person to be. And he saw and he made certain corrections. So then we of course implemented those corrections, and everything was done. So he was very close to him. My niece was very close to him actually, and he was there with him for a whole 3 to 4 days when he was admitted and everything. So he was there with him from the very first point till his last time he was there itself. So this was one of my experience of Mr. Tata. Yes, so again back to the topic. Yes, so Tata companies, I'm so sorry if I would have bored you people. I'm so sorry, but I wanted to share this experience actually. It's
No,
an
ma'am.
overwhelming
Actually,
experience.
these things are essential, to so that we can relate with each other. It's not because we are not robots,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right. So let's make it more organic, this conversation, so that
I
we
know.
can learn from each other. And I now I know that why you leave no, no opportunity to thank Mr. Tata. No doubt. I mean, when I never had got the chance to meet him, but he has such an immense impact on me that I know for myself, like after the demise of my father, if I had teary eyes, that is what
Yeah,
Tata, Mr.
I
Tata.
get
So
goosebumps.
you can understand the kind of respect he has gained, and it's not for me, for
Yeah,
the
yeah,
whole world, I can say, like for whole
exactly.
world. Nobody was happy. Nobody was happy.
Nobody, nobody,
Nobody was saying
nobody.
कि अच्छा हुआ,
No, no,
right?
no.
So
Great
it was.
loss. It is a great मतलब
And we
इतना
should
बड़ा है वो.
celebrate his achievements. This is the best tribute. This is our deepest condolences. That
Of
अब
course.
चले गए तो कुछ बात नहीं है, kind of.
ऐसा नहीं.
But I think we should keep him alive like
Yes,
this,
yes. There are many, so many examples of him, na, that he
right?
is such a humble person
He
that
is. He is.
he has helped many youngsters in very different manner. And
Right.
see why I can share this is because ये मेरे घर की बात थी. Correct है?
Right. Right.
So I have seen that thing very closely. How every so he never hesitated to ask him कि sir what should I do? मतलब ये कैसे प्रमोट करूँ, ये क्या करूँ, क्या ethical होगा, कैसे जाऊँ? And every time he got a reply. That is the
Right.
best part. So he was never
It
unturned.
is. It is very difficult, to answer each and every query
I know.
at such a pedestrian where he was sitting.
Yeah. And when he actually started, na, so he actually came up to wish him good luck and everything. And that was
Right.
like, oh my God, मतलब ये बहुत बड़ी चीज है,
It
बहुत
is. It
ज्यादा.
is. And no doubt, we should always thank him.
I know.
Although I still feel for him,
Yeah.
and
So that's what I
Because
said. It was little offbeat, I understand, but
no, it's okay, ma'am. I think that what keeps us all have memories because subject तो है ही है.
हाँ मतलब
Right.
हाँ
We,
and
we should we should always part our ways on a good note, saying that okay,
yeah,
हमको कुछ याद नहीं रहेगा. Maybe we forget some topic or any concept, but ये चीज जरूर याद रहेगी, and that will keep every one of us
yeah, exactly. So
in
I was that's
intact.
what I was said ना, I'm little offbeat, I understand. Little bore भी होगा शायद से कि ये मतलब बोल रही हैं, but something that many things. So as we are also now seen that the first merger was done by him only.
Yes,
Again,
actually.
yes. So how many revolutions he has made, we cannot even understand कि कितने revolutions किए उन्होंने. He
Right,
just
I mean futuristic approach हो तो
very
उनके
much,
जैसे हो, right?
very
So it's
visionary man, very
more
visionary.
than a marketing strategist, more than a promotional or
Yeah,
something. What he did was actually a revolution in law also. Like
exactly.
law learned from him. Okay.
Many times, that's what I
Right.
said, this the very first. So when now also when I was teaching in my college, so at that time also I told them this, he was the first who introduced this differential voting rights in the complete quorum. So that
Right.
this company was the first one who introduced this, and after that everyone followed, and now everyone has incorporated this differential
Mhm.
voting rights. So initially this was not there. Equity shares matlab complete voting rights with unstable dividend rate was the only concept of equity shares. But when this
Right.
was introduced, he was the first, or the company was the first, also we might say, to introduce this differential voting rights. Actually,
Right. Right.
that's why iske liye I got to relate to him, and very nice. So one, I made a franchisee agreement for him. So this is a franchisee dealing that he is doing. And even can you matlab, I cannot tell the draft was being scrutinized by him, and I was like shaking when I gave that draft to my niece. He was like, "Arey mommy, don't worry, it's fine, he's very nice person." I'm like, "Arey, you are meeting him, you are talking him, I'm not meeting." I so of course now we feel that he might judge, oh how law, like कैसा
Right.
मतलब lawyer है ये, क्या लिखा है या क्या नहीं लिखा है. So we get thousands of thoughts na usme.
Right.
Such a big person, he's scrutinizing your franchisee agreement.
No,
Okay,
but
so
I treat you and I count you as one of the luckiest persons
uh,
on earth who got to meet him, because you should count your blessings every day,
seriously,
because
seriously.
it was that is why I'm saying no things come and go, but memories last, and wherever,
Last,
like if any of us meet anytime, we will
I
not be discussing or remembering the topics of the subject. We'll be
totally.
remembering वो याद है आपने टाटा को डिस्कस किया था,
G
right?
G
वो
exactly.
differential rights, where whenever, because this is human psychology,
I know,
right?
yeah, I know. Seriously, I was shaking and everything. He's like, "Mommy, don't worry. He's a nice guy." Like I understand, but it is a like a heavy on my chest. Like, oh my god, I was shaking. Like, don't worry, इतकच केलंय त्यांनी, इतना ही करना है आपको. I'm like, okay, ठीक है, I'll tell you. So yes, a very good memory of him, and thanks
Yes.
to him, now I have a good franchisee agreement with me.
Right, right, right. So, which has been vetted by Mr. Tata. So,
I
of
know.
course,
So changes made by him.
you
So
should take
great
it as
thing.
a proud, and you should always brag about it. No, no matter if anyone gets offended.
I know. Thank you for that. Chalo, let's move to the topic again. Yes, chalo. Thank you. Thank you so much for understanding. Thank you so much. Chalo, let's move ahead. Now, as we were talking, the very first reform that the SEBI made was differential voting rights. So, what is this differential voting rights? I'll tell you. So, what happens if any person or a member wants to have or held equity shares in any company? So, initially, what used to happen? Equity shares, matlab ownership, is what we know. ठीक है? And when we say ownership, so that period is complete voting rights with the dividend rate is not fixed. With the dividend rate is not fixed, but in preferential, where it's completely उल्टा, जहां पे voting rights मतलब है ही नहीं, but dividend पूरा मिलेगा, और वोटिंग राइट सिर्फ मैटर रिलेटेड टू रहेगा तो ही प्रेफरेंशियल पीपल विल, प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स होल्डर will basically vote for that particular matter. But then what happens is in equity shares when we talk about differential voting rights, तो इसमें क्या होता है, the first point is complete voting right with less number or variation rate of dividend. But when we talk about differential voting rights, उसमें क्या होता है कि 10 शेयर होल्डर्स इज इक्वल टू 1 वोटिंग राइट. मतलब 10 लोग मिलके एक वोट डालेंगे या एक वोट काउंट होगा और डिविडेंड पक्का मिलेगा. डिविडेंड का रेट फिक्स हो जाएगा या फिर पक्का मिलेगा. This is differential voting right wherein people may opt either of them. That is complete voting right यानी one shareholder one voting right. Number one. या फिर in case of differential voting right, what will happen is one 10 shareholders and one voting right. 10 shareholders and one voting right. But when we say 10 shareholders, इनको फिक्स क्या मिलेगा, 100% इनको क्या मिलेगा, क्या मिलेगा इनको?
Dividend.
Yes,
Dividend.
yes, correct. Dividend. But that dividend will be converted into only one voting. So now what happens in this scenario is it depends upon the shareholder कि how they want. If they want to opt for number one, that is complete voting right यानी ownership, so they might go for the option number one in equity shareholding. And if they want a equity share with differential voting rights, then they may opt for the another situation that is 100% dividend but voting rights का कॉमन होके वन वोटिंग राइट हो जाएगा. सो दैट इज नोन एज डिफरेंशियल voting right that was being incorporated by SEBI. And the first was Mr. Tata or the Tata companies who introduced in their companies this differential voting rights. Okay.
Ma'am, dividend shall be varied or it will be fixed?
Fixed मिलेगा, fixed
नहीं
मिलेगा.
मिलेगा, but will it be vary? The rate of interest will vary?
No, no, no.
Okay.
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 Yeah.
Fixed dividend.
Yes, yes, yes. And then we all know something was a big changing thing was happened with the new, with the government coming up with a new concept that was startup India. Yes, even startup India was one of the amazing reform which boost the companies in many ways, to be very frank. And the SEBI and the government provided various exemptions and tax benefits to this startup. So even in our IPR, so who all are attending the IPOs also. So if you are a startup and if you are making any trademark applications, so for startups, the statutory fee for the startups are very less compared to the others, that is the private limited, public, partnership or LLP. And tax benefit to हम सबको पता है, there are many tax benefits provided by the government or finance commission to the startup India. So this Zepto है या फिर और बहुत सारे ऐसे हैं who are the startups and merging or collaborating with the big companies, so that of course it is helping them as well. So startup tax benefits and exemptions from many compliances, I might say. Yes, so startups are not required to provide as compliances as any private limited, public limited has to give. So when we say any private limited or public limited company wants to get registered, or if it is even we might say an yearly or monthly, sorry, quarterly, also the company has to do a lot of compliances with MCA. Yes, they have to put in the forms. So if there is any removal of director, inclusion of director, if any else things has been happening. So all of this has to be complied with MCA. As compared to them, startups are having a very less compliances, which is also again boosting the economic or as well as the growth in company sector. Yes. Then of course we all know there was an inclusion of corporate income tax rates, so there was a decrease, I think 2000 which का बजट में एक्सपोर्ट्स एंड कॉरपोरेट टैक्सेस, सो ऑडिट जो 44A में होता है, was been reduced in that period. It was been reduced, and due to this there was a lot of what we might say increase in again a corporate what we might say in the companies and several other mergers. And the budget of 21, 22, 23 also, yes, I have written, I forgot it, I'm so sorry. Yes, 21 to 24, of course, they were very much favorable to the whole world, as it actually boosted the companies in many several ways, by tax benefits, by exemptions, by giving startup India, giving fundings to the startup India. Yes, even if you know, I don't know whether again a little off bit, banks or any financial institutions who provide finances to, so the application of loan or borrowing fundings for startups again are little easier than the main companies. I don't know whether you all know this or not, or if you have uh, have come across any of this. So startups are little easier procedure, they have little easier procedure when we talk about if even they want to get any loans. Yes, so even that is also a very good what we might say a impact or a trend we might say. Yes. Then the what the very important, okay, so there was one of the organization, okay, which has come over, and we all know this treaty as well, which has helped in many ways, as well as the when we talk about India, it has crossed a lot of billions of what we might say the turnover into the manufacturing goods or different types of services. That organization known as IFTA. So hope you might have come across this IFTA. Anyone has come across this IFTA anywhere soon? Yes, anywhere soon. If someone has come across IFTA,
Foreign trade kind of thing.
yes, European. Yes, yeah. Someone also was saying something else. Yes, IFTA कोई बता रहा था मेरे ख्याल से.
No, I said foreign trade kind of thing.
It is a European Trade Association,
Okay.
Free Trade Association. Due to this agreements, actually, now the trend has been very amazing, and trust me, because of this, एक minute, I'm still searching. Mm, by any which ways, if I have somewhere else jotted down, because I make notes and then I make slides, so I am like कहीं पे मुझे मिल जाए तो मैं आप लोगों को बता दूं. How could this happen? So, where was I? I'm so sorry. Yeah. So, due to IFTA agreements, also there has been a lot of what we might say a high trend in the Indian companies and in the mergers and acquisitions. So, before going to the key drivers, I'll just explain these key drivers and then we will go. Actually, it will require a little more time. So, I don't think we might complete in 5-10 minutes. So, I'll just explain you this and we will see. I'll come to you. Okay. So, why you think there should be a reason behind there should be a merger and acquisition? What do you think? Why should it happen? कोई भी मर्जर या कोई भी एक्विजिशन क्यों होना चाहिए, और या फिर मर्जर या एक्विजिशन करने से क्या होगा, व्हाट विल हैपन if there is any merger or acquisition? You
In
think?
case of merger, like if a manufacturer is manufacturing a product and it requires some raw material that can be catered from another, organization. So merger would help them to produce that product um, at a faster pace.
Space. Yeah. Okay. Anything
And
else?
as far as
Yes.
acquisition is concerned, like if an organization is running into losses, then
Yes.
other organization can take it, acquire
Acquire
that.
and make it profitable, make it more successful, we might say, the business, right?
Yeah,
Yes. Okay. Anything else?
Market expansion,
Yes.
share capital, increase share capital,
Increase in share capital, G.
the
Yes.
brand strengthening,
Brand is happening. New brand, yes.
the what they say,
Cost
synergy,
effective and one,
yeah,
yeah,
cost effective.
synergy. Cost effective, as Sneha was also saying, if the losses is more happening and better being winding up, I'm being acquired by someone else. Yes.
Streamlines the operations,
Streamline operations. Yes. Yes. Yes.
research and development,
Development is happening. Yes. 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 Of course, we all know economic strength is happening. Growth in economy is also happening. Yes. Yes. And what
yeah.
if, is there any cost saving, we might say, even if there is any merger or acquisition happening with,
In merger, it can be a cost saving factor can be um,
yes.
considered.
Yes. If the both of the companies are serving the same, let's get merger and give a better version of it, right? Yes. So there are many of these things. We will discuss this in the later session. But yes, till this or before this, any question and answers. Hope I was not fast today. And I will try to search my slide and I'll show you all the trends that I had kept. And I had taken, मतलब वो काफी मैंने थोड़े elaborative लिखे थे, and I don't know where I'm having it. Now I'm feeling restless because I'm not having it. Yes. So yes, any questions till this? Any question answers? Hope I was not fast. Yes. Anything till this? Any
Yeah,
question?
I have one question.
Yes, Neha.
Would you cover finance part as well in this course in this merger and acquisition?
मतलब I could not get you, Sneha.
Kind of
Finance,
how the
which,
balance sheet and I mean how accounts are merged.
no, not actually. I don't
Okay.
think that is under the modules, I think. But
Okay.
let's see if we get a little period. So if I could incorporate, yeah, I'm not saying that I will. I'll see if I get time because हमारा course भी काफी बड़ा है. So
Yeah,
let's see
yeah.
if possible. Because as I was talking, वो
Yeah.
legal audit बहुत बड़ा चला जाता है.
Yeah, I understand. No
Yeah.
problem.
हाँ, that's why. इसके लिए. Let's see if possible. Yes. Anything else? Yeah, Suchi.
Ma'am, legal provision.
Yeah, we will cover that. We'll cover
Okay.
everything. Yes, yes. This is, we have started with, we have understood the background, or we have understood what exactly mergers and acquisitions are, types. Yes, I wanted to like make you aware about why the mergers and acquisitions should happen in this particular part, which will take little time, which I have certain examples also. So that's what I'm saying. I don't want to run. So that's why I'm saying मैं आराम से उसको लेके then I'll give you all the examples as well. That's why I've said I'll stop over here, and that's why I asked ki koi questions till now, and hope whatever we have taken till this, everything is clear to everyone. Any questions till this? Yes. Hope everything is clear. Shall we conclude for the day then?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes,
How
ma'am.
are you, Savio?
Yes, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good. Hope you're doing good.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I
After,
have taken admission in LLB, ma'am. First year.
oh wow, that's nice. Where?
Ma'am, in Father Agni College in Mumbai.
Mumbai. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know Father Angels. Yeah. All the very best. That's nice.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, and after a long time with a different session, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, hi. Great, great.
Ma'am, but
Yes.
labor law is really tough. I'm not understanding anything.
Oh, yeah, they have included the new concepts as well. This is a new labor law. So at least you are getting a proper labor law. Last year तक तो वो लोग बहुत बेचारे झगड़ रहे थे कि कैसे करना है हमें.
Now it's code, ma'am.
Yeah, it is now at least
It's
codified.
labor
Last year
code
तक
now.
तो
Yeah.
और भी ज्यादा
Yeah,
प्रॉब्लम था
yeah.
पता है. मतलब my
Yeah, yeah.
students also in the college, मैम क्या पढ़े, पुराना पढ़े, नया पढ़े, and what happened, everything was from the older version. So at least you have codified now. Yes.
Ma'am,
Okay,
could you
wonderful.
suggest any book to buy, like to study?
I'll let you know in the next session. I'll ask my labor one and I'll let you know.
Yes, ma'am.
No
Because
worries.
I don't have any idea to which book to buy.
Okay, no worries, no worries. I'll let you know. No worries. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Chalo, thank you. Again, we are sorry we started with something. One of my old student is, yes. So, yes, thank you so much. Yeah, and thank you for attending the session. Bye. Good night. Take care. Happy weekend to everyone. Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye,
Bye.
ma'am. Good night.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.